In the dark, dark tomb there was a dark, dark street, and in the dark, dark street there was a dark, dark office. In the dark, dark office there were some dark, dark stairs, and down the dark, dark stairs there was a dark, dark room, and in the dark, dark room was where the worst wrestling tropes go to die.
Hello everybody and welcome to Straight to Hell, the show where my illustrious guest offers up a list of their pet peeves from the world of professional wrestling, and I send them straight to hell because Frank Skinner no longer presents Room 101. I won that war. Joining me today is the leader of the WrestleTwats, Oliver James Cuthbert Davis, to give him his full title. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, I thought this was out of kayfabe, or we've at least done the...
I mean, we've got to have a little bit, don't we? You know,
we're still keeping the feud going, like one of those classic 6-monthers.
Just to peel the old curtain back, we're still shooting this in the hours before your punishment. So with Luke, we talked about the giraffe you had in, because we're going to pretend it happened. So, you know, the giraffe that headbutted Luke, that was a moment. The squirrel,
oh, right, yes.
The squirrel that had assaulted a young boy in the crowd,
yeah,
that was quite
unfortunate.
something. It was just unbelievable.
It was, so yeah, in retrospect, working with that many animals,
they always say animals and children, don't they? So
animals and
you
children.
live and learn. For the next time you lose to us, it's something which might come or might not. I don't know what we have planned for the future.
Well, you will have my jacket.
We do.
Well, you do have my jacket now, so I would like to win that back at some point.
What would you like to see happen to said jacket?
Well, so I haven't worn it for about a month, and I put it on today, which is when we're recording this, and it is maybe really itchy. So I would like Jack to wear it a lot.
That's got itching power into the lining, hasn't it? You can't do anything with the jacket.
I've got how did that start? Where did it come from? The jacket?
The jacket. It was just, so when we were approaching 500,000 subscribers.
Was that recently?
Thank you.
We'll get there soon.
I thought we would do a week of how nothing's changed and we're very humble, but as I was saying this, more and ridiculous outfits would appear on me.
I thought it had been around for a lot longer than that.
No, it was March. So and then I actually ended up liking the jacket, got over, and if the people give you something, you want to run with it.
It's weird how certain things catch on, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I stand there every week and go, "Hello, I'm Paige."
What's the weirdest thing that you never saw catching on? Because it is the smallest bits and stuff like you work ages on. Like, this is going to be a perfect running gag.
And
everyone hates it.
Like, I had a lot of things back at the old place that didn't catch on, which should have, considering the amount of time that I put into it. But it's the Page thing.
Yeah.
Because people have a go at Bruce Pritchard for his horrible impressions, but that chops anything he does.
Yeah.
It sounds nothing like I used to joke back in the day that she does sound like a Wales mating call, like a cane to her voice, like ooh.
And this was after the Page year. It was around that time.
What a moment in time that was. But yeah, it sort of caught on and developed into its own thing, and now I have to jump about and stuff, and it's quite tiring.
You are very physical in your videos.
Oh, yeah. Jack's baby. So, if you don't know how this works, I said Jack's baby. Ollie will suggest 5 things for me to send down to hell, then we'll have a bit of back and forth. We might even fight, who knows what might happen, and then we'll come to a decision where 5 things probably will go down to hell. But then last month, your pal failed, and you got 5.
Yeah.
He must be really rubbish.
We've had words about that, and we're scaling back on Luke because he wasn't 5 out of 5.
That's a shame.
Well, I mean, there was no ill will there, was there? You didn't stop it from going in
No, I can't remember what it was.
Like, if I get 0 out of 5...
I could just do that, but then, we've got to keep the integrity of the show at a certain level. So let's get cracking with the knacking. Okay then, let's go. Luke, what is your first offering? They all look the same, don't they, with their facial hair and whatnot? Oliver,
facial hair and this bit going on. Yeah, so my first one's going to be Ross. Fourth one's going to be Sam.
That had nothing to do with our official partner here on Straight to Hell, WKD.
You should say Mark. No, it's not Mark Maron. It's Doug Stanhope. He just, even though even though the company won't sponsor him, he just keeps on sponsored by this vodka.
I did one episode of WTF where I was a bit tired and I couldn't be asked to jump about. I was like, name redacted. Yeah. Just sat in a chair and I was like, had a glass of brandy in my hand. I was like, I'm Ross Tweddell.
Yeah.
Bleep that, by the way, and that's why I drink. And just sat in the chair like Doug and started just rambling. Nice. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, to sit down in chairs, it's great, isn't it?
It's
what's
much
your
better.
First offering?
So my first offering, when I wrote these down, I realised that they were all anti-WWE. I thought that's just going to be a bit depressing after a while, isn't it? So I'm going to kick off with an indie thing, which I was once a part of. This used to be my favourite thing to do at progress shows. Which camera am I looking into?
You're
looking into that one.
That's the hard cam.
Or am I meant to pretend like we're talking?
Yeah, if you want to talk to the people there, they're there, but that's where they are.
It is. So it's when a referee. So both guys are on the outside. I used to do this at the early progress shows because I liked it before it was cool. And Charles Roberts would go like 1, 2, and then the crowd would go 3. And he'd go 3, and then 4, and then once, it wasn't Chris Roberts, but it was another referee, and he skipped the count, and then that was it. Like the match was essentially ruined. Not ruined, but you couldn't invest in the action as much because
he made a mistake.
And everyone, the referee got all the crowd reaction heat, and it was so funny in the moment. And I carried on doing that chant for years because I thought it was a very funny trolling thing to do. And now I look back on my former self, I'm like, you little idiots.
So since you've been a bit of a hipster, is this what we're learning about you?
Yes.
You were there before it was cool, were you?
Yes, yeah. But I fully recognise, I'm self-aware of what a douchebag I am.
I don't know what to say. I'm just disgusted at you for being a hipster, a wrestling hipster. You're one of them, aren't you?
Well, I wouldn't say I was a hipster because I was still, I wasn't. Yeah, I liked Colt Cabana. It was the first progress show. I knew it was happening because Colt Cabana was doing a podcast. He's like a podcast show, and I was like, I'll go to that. And then, just a love affair from there, to about chapter 20. But that was, and I would just get absolutely hammered and shout things. And it was more about having the best chant for me sometimes in these excellent matches. And it's just because, and it's perfectly acceptable to go to shows just to have a good time. That's what they're there for. But looking back at me, I would have hated if I was sitting next to me in a crowd.
So
I would have been annoyed.
How old were you when you were doing this?
I've been about 23, 24.
Everyone's expecting, I was 12, 13, 23.
Yeah,
but now I look at you and I just can't see you without spectacles and a little moustache and some checky shirt and whatnot. Yeah. Proper hipster.
Super cheaty.
Yeah, essentially. I was trying to avoid that, but you've gone there. I'm going to say no.
What? Why no? What? That chant? That specific chant in particular?
I'm going to say no.
Why?
I'm going to stand firm against the hipster.
But it's not a hipster thing. It's the chant that's
at the start. You
wrong.
said you used to like it. But now everybody does it.
But I recognise what people aren't allowed to change.
No.
This is good. This is character development.
No, once you've done something, it's there in black and white. You can never go back.
You are the internet.
Yes,
That's
I am.
what you are.
Yes, nobody can change.
I've deleted all those tweets.
Once you're a horrible person once, you're a horrible person forever. No one forgives you.
That is true, yeah.
So there you go.
What's in my first one? You're not putting it in.
The one sentence where you went, I used to like it, but now everybody does it.
No, Sav, help me out here. You can't.
I'm standing firm against the hipster.
But that's not what's going in. It's that chant. That chant's really annoying.
But why?
Because everyone's trying to throw the referee off and it detracts from the action in the ring.
But it was fine when it was just you doing it before it became...
No, it was never fine. I just didn't know it wasn't fine. I thought it was funny.
It's just I can't get that one little sentence out of my head.
That's outrageous.
This matters to you, doesn't it?
Well, I don't
I like the
first
passion.
One's off.
I think it was Luke's first one as well. Was it Luke's first one?
I have no idea.
I can't remember.
45 minutes ago.
A Twitter tribunal, isn't it? This is.
Yeah, let us know. Even though this is recorded and then put online many months later.
You are judge, jury, and executioner here. This is corrupt.
While I do not like the chant, personally, hipster. Gonna leave my buzzer alone for this one. That's where I am with hipsters. It's gonna be awkward this now, isn't it? So we are 0-4-1. You must be rubbish at this game. Because nobody does that.
Okay, I've gone back to the. Let me go back to the drawing board. So I've done. Okay, I'm gonna get this. This is
knock my socks off.
This is an anti-WWE one. So back when I was a hipster, I call them automatic feud extenders.
Elaborate.
So this is. You get an automatic title rematch. And this is indicative of a larger problem in WWE in the way they book, I feel. And that is where we'll get the same match and feud over and over again rather than coming away from, so let's just say, Revival and B-Team, because it was
the bad example at the minute is Balor and Corbin.
Yeah. But there's no title attached to that.
Yeah. Oh, is it when titles are?
Well, it's all of it, but it's just so lazy. Well, it's lazy all the time, but Just that it's a rule that they really lean on. And there's no consistency there either, because I know Finn Balor eventually got that title rematch, but Kevin Owens, memeously, is still not provided his...
I know what you mean.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say a bit more.
I'll carry on. But yeah, so the B Team and the Revival, for instance, they've just been fighting each other. Oh no, they haven't lost. That's a bad example. Now I can't think of any examples. No,
because the tag team titles have just been on the line randomly certain weeks on Raw, and then some weeks they're not there. And...
But it's when the champions lose the title, and then you have the person who lost it has to have that rematch.
It's in the contract.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it should be removed from the contract, and then we can.
Oh, we're going that deep, are we?
Yeah, because then we can. Because it's just a stupid bit that they don't adhere to consistently. So. This, if you just get rid of it, you can immediately go into a fresh feud.
So it's not the actual clause itself; it's the fact they don't always do it.
It's all of the things.
It's all of the things.
It's multi-pronged. There's so many reasons this should go in.
So yeah, well, let's digest this one bit by bit. The clause itself, I think it's all right. I don't know about you. The clause itself, because I think if you lose a title, you should have a shot to get it back, but just one shot. And if you lose it again, back to the back of the queue you go, unless you're Roman Reigns.
But this isn't a thing in other competitive combat sports.
This is a combat sport we're talking about?
But it's simulating a combat sport.
It's a simulated combat sport.
It's a predetermined
It's a live
combat
performance,
sport.
a live action film in front of your eyes.
Like, Okada hasn't had the way Okada gets a rematch is by the story coming together and him beating other people and getting the chance to work his way back up.
This is more of your hipster blood coming through with your Japanese wrestling reference. No, but yeah, the consistency is a big issue because obviously Finn Balor went two years it was without his contractual rematch. So for the consistency of the clause being invoked, that is what I can accept. But the clause itself, I think it's fine as long as if they lose the rematch, they're then gone from the title picture for a bit because they've lost 2 matches and shouldn't be there.
But then you see, that's almost weird as well. So a recent example of that is Charlotte and Becky, and Carmella got her rematch. But it's a hangover to that feud, and really the more naturalistic thing would be to just keep on moving on, rather than have this awkward bit where Carmella has to lose again, and now she seems not to care about the title at all.
Just the exclamation point at the end of the feud, isn't it?
No, it's a fart. It's just a little wimpy...
Yeah, but like one of your own farts that you like the smell of, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, that sums up WWE's booking
in bed,
sometimes.
one of those bad lads.
A Dutch oven. That's fine, but I wouldn't subject that to everyone else.
I would like to, I don't know if this is just the thing how it's done in wrestling, like throughout time. Is this a modern...
I don't know, where's Meltzer?
Quirk?
You can ask.
Is he under there?
Is it? I don't know.
You can probably crop up somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the consistency of that clause being invoked, as the buzzer sounds will have been picked up on the microphones. There's been all sorts of weird noises going on here today. We're in the Star Wars bit in the arena. You'll have seen it. You'll know what that means. The Star Wars bit. This is Star Wars, isn't it? Well,
the Mos Eisley Cantina, Ross.
Speak up.
It's the Mos Eisley Cantina.
The Mos Eisley Cantina.
You're not a Star Wars fan?
No. As I like to joke on my videos, get your mitts off my buzzer. As I like to joke on my videos, my favourite Star Wars film is Episode 2, The Phantom Menace. And the amount of people that go mad about that.
You got me there.
Jar Jar Binks is my favourite character. Oh, the comments go wild. It's fantastic.
I almost corrected you and I realised that was the...
That's the funny. Oh, it's surprising how many people don't get the funny. But there we go. We are 1 for 2. We are 1 for 2. That is just half of the things you have offered are in hell.
50%.
That is a disgusting ratio.
I'll take that hit ratio.
What's your next one?
My next one is the no-sell of no-selling. Okay, let me unpack this. So, no-sell spots, when you're going to say this is a hipster thing
no-sell
now.
spots do my head in as well.
No, but I'm coming out in defence of no-selling. Because of course, like all things, there's a big range and things fall on bits of the spectrum, but at the extreme ends you've got like the bad no-selling, which is where... Leo Rush in that famous CZW match, where he just gets up and carries on wrestling. So that completely undermines the move, and I'm not a fan of that at all. But at the other end, you've got the proper no-selling, where that no-sell is worked perfectly into the story of the match, and it's like a Hail Mary, because you have just had... your opponent has just given you the biggest move they can possibly do, like a finisher, and you pop up, and you hit them back, and then you're both down, like you're dead, which is sort of how every New Japan match works, and then you slowly get to your feet and
Hipster.
do that.
Hipster.
So what I'm putting in is people who say that no selling is bad, when really
the generalisation of the no sell.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Language.
I just went for a catchy
English
name.
language. Yeah. So I was to say, I hate that kind of no sell, the Leo Rush. Here's a massive move. I'm up against straight away. But yeah, when you do that, I like that in a match where someone has the finisher done to them. They then get up, they don't know where they are really. It's one last hurrah, and then they're both down forever. And then that works for me. And
they've even started doing it in WWE very rarely, and it's weird to see them do it. Like when it was a Roman Reigns Seth Rollins match on Raw, and Seth Rollins just like he hit one of his repertoire of big moves, and Roman Reigns just runs out the corner for a huge clothesline and a double down. And that was the most heated part of the match. So it shows that kind of spot can get over to the more WWE casual viewers. I feel like there is a resistance from in whoever agents the WWE matches.
Have you seen the Kyle O'Reilly no sell?
Which one?
The one where he no sells and then realised, I'm better than he thought.
Kyle O'Reilly's selling is incredible.
I did an article recently.
Yeah, I saw it.
The 10 faces.
His faces,
thing. I just love his face. He's just a joy to behold. But him, in terms of this point, he's just the best.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, like, although he doesn't do the biggest thing in the tag matches, he can't keep your eyes off him because he's just flopping around.
He's always
like
going to do something. It's amazing. That thing where he was against the Authors of Pain and they're on the floor, and one of them just gives him a forearm to the head, and he just he's all groggy and whatnot, just gets up on the apron, walks along a few steps, and then just down he goes. It's just like that sort of stuff that works.
It's because it's a comedy spot. It's a really unique way to do a heel. Is that like I guess it's kind of like what Ric Flair used to do in the 80s, but he'll sell and then. Yeah, he'll at least try to stay on his feet, like he would do in a fight. Yeah. So there is a believability aspect there.
But for the generalised grouping that sort of thing in with the Leo Rush sort of thing, that's a no-no. So for the that's a no-no. So for the generalisation, I'm going to give you a sassy no-no and a sassy buzzer push. So much sass. Okay, then we are. Wow, go on, are we 3 for 4?
2 for 3.
2 for 3. We are 2 for 3. Trying to make it 3 for 4.
Yes.
That's maths.
No, I kind of wanted to make it 0 for 5 now. Can we take some stuff out?
Yeah, if you want.
No.
Sam?
What did that do? Did you just Thanos everything?
I was thinking we're doing reactions and the points are there all the time, but they're not there on this show, are they? So that click did nothing. What's your fourth one?
So my fourth one is the Bella Twins.
Ooh.
And everything they stand for.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is a recent phenomenon. I guess if this is going out a few months in arrears.
Dangerous territory here.
I know. It's a provocative title for what is a larger thing. I don't know when it became unpopular to not like the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox's wrestling ability. Like when was this a controversial
What's
opinion?
your stance on the Alicia Fox Northern Lights suplex?
Well, that's beautiful. It's a cracking delivery of
the
that
best
move.
in the world.
Yeah, well, it's in the mix. Yeah,
it's the best in the world. Just say it. It's the best in the world.
That's great. But she also tries to pin people outside the ring. She sometimes doesn't tag right.
She's crazy as well. That's a gimmick. It sort of works though.
I guess that's
let's bash the Bella Twins because I don't like them either.
Okay, cool. Right. It's just so SummerSlam. They just appeared. And they haven't gone away yet. And now Brie Bella is actually, because John Cena's not around, she's the only person who can transcend the brand split. She is now on Raw and SmackDown. And there is no real explanation for this.
I don't mind that so much because they do have I think it's a pretty successful reality show. I don't know if it is. I've never watched it personally.
Yeah.
But you can see, excuse me, WKD burp. You can see why they would have them on Raw and SmackDown just because, it's her off that show. I guess,
but that's not right. I can see why they're doing.
It's just definitely not the level of John Cena to deserve that either.
Yeah.
You're talking about people deserving things in wrestling. That's in hell, you know. I'm a hypocrite. But yeah, the way the Bella Twins got in the ring at SummerSlam to raise Ronda Rousey's hand as if they were, I don't know, the Ric Flair of the women's friends.
Yeah. And
it's as if they were passing the torch on to the new people who didn't have the torch in the first place.
It's indicative of a more misogynistic undertone to how WWE book their women, and it's all based around friendships and who's fallen out with who.
High school.
Yeah, and it's just such. Like, it's not. I don't think it's intentionally misogynistic. I just think that's what happens when you've got a room full of 30 guys and Randy Orton allegedly giving out handshakes. You're going to foster that kind of.
I thought you were going to say hand jobs there for a second with the things we've learned recently about him.
Yeah.
But I think we need to say about the Bella Twins, they've done an awful lot, haven't they? In the 10, is it 10 years? It is 10 years, isn't it? So they're not coming out of nowhere here.
No.
But I do not like what they represent at the minute in terms of being passing the torch to Ronda Rousey when it shouldn't be them.
It should be people like
Natalia or someone like that.
Natalia, Beth Phoenix. I'm a huge Caitlyn fan. Like those people. AJ Lee, of course, she's not with the company though. But it's WWE are trying to rewrite their history, where really the reason the Bellas and Alicia Fox are kind of they're trying to spin it because the women's evolution or whatever branding you want to put over it came about because they were so bad in the ring that they were only getting minute matches, and it's not. Yeah, some of it is WWE only giving them those time restrictions. But
it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
They're not very good.
Yeah, they weren't getting the time to display their talents, but then again, did they have the talent in the first place?
Yeah, totally. So and now you're like, actually, they were trailblazers in the division. It's like, were they really? I don't think so.
I mean, it's Nikki, the way she comes across, I know it might be a bit of a character model, but I find her thoroughly detestable. I hate her. I think she's so materialistic and just a horrible woman.
Well, I mean,
this is going to get us in so much trouble.
You're going in deeper. I was more talking about the characters and the booking rather than human beings.
I followed her down the street with a look of scorn written across my face. Yeah, I agree. I don't like what they represent in 2018 in WWE because it's just not true, is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, they've done a lot. Let's not take anything away from them. But it's been a bad year for Nikki, hasn't it? John's gone, now she's in hell. That was a horrible sentence to say. 3 for 4. 4 for 5, maybe.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Right, here's the big one. It is the worst thing in wrestling at the moment.
Go on.
It is just... It makes... Because the whole point of wrestling is that you want to believe that it's real. Like, you don't go into a movie and everything in the movie says, oh, by the way, these are actors, this isn't a real story, yada, yada, yada. So, my biggest one that must go straight to hell is when wrestlers come down to the ring and they do an in-ring promo, and then they pause the in-ring promo, and they say, and here's what happened last week. And they essentially queue up their own video package clip.
Which they made themselves.
Yeah, and then it comes back. So there are so many questions that brings up. Like, who's making those? Are they having these discussions backstage with people? Yeah, make sure you queue that up. Just the whole layout of it is really unnatural and artificial. And that you just... Why can't the announcers do this?
Yeah.
WWE is so good at video packages. It's one of the things they do really, really, objectively well. But they're forcing them into these awkward parts.
The thing I would do, they do the split screen adverts for SmackDown.
Oh, I hate those as well.
What I would incorporate those into Raw by having the promo on one screen and just no noise, no dramatic music or sound effects or whatever they do. Just show what happened last week in the bottom corner. Don't have them reference it because it's there. We're seeing it live.
Oh, what? So yeah, they're talking about it in the ring.
They don't know what's happening. They haven't queued it up. It's just last week in the box in the front
maybe
corner.
Like a little line on commentary. You just for viewers at home, here is what happened last week.
That's a more natural way to have it in, because I think it is. Sometimes it is important to get it in there.
Yeah, well, part of the reason they do it because you want to tell the live crowd what's going on, just in case people are coming in who don't keep up to date with it week to week. So you do want to have, here's what happened last week. So you'd lose that in that way.
Yeah.
But that is a good way for home viewing, I suppose. But yeah, just to have it at the start, or maybe even like in an ad break.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think, do you see the most meta thing in this category at WrestleMania 33? Bray Wyatt and his Microsoft PowerPoint presentations in the ring.
Oh God,
that's the peak of this point, which I detested with all my heart.
No, I think that's different because that's a gimmick match.
It's mystical powers, is it?
That's a set. Yeah, I guess it is. It's wrestlers puncturing because wrestling is predetermined. So it's
what?
Yeah. So it's unfortunate for that to make it look even more predetermined. Like the the idea is to cover that up and make you believe in it.
I just thought it made Bray Wyatt like a cracking editor.
Yeah.
Kevin, hit that now.
Yeah, because like, either you've got superpowers, which is hard to invest in, or you've got really good technical abilities, which doesn't fit with Bray.
I agree completely. Yes. So, do that thing I said, or rest forevermore in the hell. Oh, I've messed that up completely. There we go. Yeah. 4 for 5. All right.
I still think
Team
it should
Wrestle
be
Twat have 8 for 10 on the
I
two
think
episodes.
It should be 5 for 5. Can you retroactively put the first one in?
No, because you're a dirty hipster.
Was a dirty hipster.
You can never outgrow the hipsterness. No. I've had too much WKD. That is it for this episode of Straight to Hell. Thank you very much, Oliver, for your company.
Pleasure.
Here
Thanks
today.
for having me.
I hope you break your neck in this
it's already happened.
Punishment that's already happened.
It's already happened.
So if you want to address that camera there and plug some stuff, this is the time to do that.
Yes, you can find us over at WrestleTalk. We do stuff better than Cultaholic, but not lists. You do better lists.
You do better at being bad than us.
Oh!
You rubbish men.
So WrestleTalk, we've got a website. That's good. Not very good at plugging things. Twitter's good. Twitter, WrestleTalk.
Just in general, Twitter's a great social media platform. One of the best out there. Instagram is another great social media platform. We don't have an Instagram. You don't?
No.
We do. We are Cultaholic.
What do you put on it?
Pictures.
But you can't
pretty
link
ones.
to
pretty ones.
To articles.
Yeah, you can in stories. Yeah. But you need more than 10k followers, which you know.
You guys do.
Big boys, us. So yes, that is it. Join us again next month where somebody will probably get 5 for 5. Bye.